What is going on, guys? Well, Verizon's entire roadmap for the end of 2011 and early 2012 has been leaked, and there are a ton of really cool, pretty badass phones on there that we have not heard until now. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. First off, we have the Samsung Stratosphere, which is almost guaranteed, in my opinion, to be Verizon's Samsung Galaxy S2 variant. And it will indeed have 4G LTE compatibility, which is very good, and could be a killer feature of the Samsung Galaxy S2 over the upcoming iPhone 5 if it doesn't in fact include that 4G LTE. Because as we all know, Apple is not very fond of adopting the latest, most cutting edge radio technology. So they don't want to include 4G LTE because they feel it can make the phone too bulky or too big or too thick, too bulky, whatever, too thick, and it can also reduce battery life as well. So if the Galaxy S2 could in fact keep that 4G LTE rate on side of it but stay thin at the same time, then that could be a killer feature for the Samsung Galaxy S2 variant and could really stick it up Apple's rear end, to stick it way up there and say go buy our phone over the iPhone 5. It'll be running on Android 2.3 and will apparently phase out the Samsung Fascinate, which is Verizon's Samsung Galaxy S1 variant. So if it's going to phase that phone out, obviously it will be the successor to that phone, and that means it's the Galaxy S2. So 1, 2, Galaxy S1, Galaxy S2. Samsung Stratosphere will be Verizon's Galaxy S2 variant. And last but certainly not least, it'll be launching on September the 8th. So get your money ready, guys. That's pretty soon. And if you want to get that killer 4G LTE Samsung Galaxy S2 variant from Verizon, this is it right here. Go pre-order it when it's available and get that money ready, guys. Get that cheddar ready. And next up, we have the HTC Vigor, which is almost guaranteed to be the successor to the HTC Thunderbolt, which is Verizon's first ever 4G LTE smartphone. So this phone got benchmarked in Nanomark 1 and has been confirmed to sport a 720p resolution display, which is 1280 down pixels, of course, by 720 pixels across. That's 720p, guys, and that is going to be quite sexy on an HTC smartphone, so that's pretty darn cool. It's also sporting a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core Snapdragon processor, the same one found in the Evo 3D and Sensation, with the same GPU being Adreno 220. So as far as that goes, it's the same hardware basically as the Evo 3D and Sensation, but with a better screen, better resolution, and who knows what else. So I'm just wondering if this dual-core Snapdragon is really powerful enough to run Sense 3.0 at that kind of resolution, because 720p is a lot higher than Quarter HD is. So at least in my testing, the Sensation, after I loaded up my 100 plus applications on that phone, it really bogged down and it got really slow sometimes. So I'm just wondering if this dual-core Snapdragon is powerful enough to run Sense 3.0 at a full-blown 720p resolution. That's, piqued my interest at least. So I'm curious to see how that turns out. And it will in fact have 4G LTE compatibility due to it being the successor to the HTC Thunderbolt. So that's pretty cool right there. And it is launching on October the 6th. So you have the Samsung Stratosphere, Galaxy S2, and another dual-core HTC powerhouse from Verizon. Probably going to be their version of the Sensation or Evo 3D, but on Verizon and 4G LTE compatibility as well. So that is pretty darn cool for you guys, and I'm quite jealous. And lastly, we have the LG Revolution 2, which will obviously succeed the original LG Revolution of Verizon, which has 4G LTE, single-core processor, and a 4.3-inch WPGA display. So no specs quite yet, but I would expect maybe a dual-core processor, another 4.3-inch display, maybe high resolution, and of course 4G LTE compatibility. And it is launching on October the 20th. So Samsung Stratosphere, which is the Galaxy S2 variant, the HTC Vigor, which is a powerhouse dual-core smartphone, 720p screen. That's just really impressive right there. And of course, the LG Revolution 2. So that is quite killer. All 4G LTE smartphones, probably all 4.3-inch screens, all powerhouse phones. That is just quite impressive and quite killer for Verizon right there. So, and as a current T-Mobile customer, I must admit that Verizon's looking pretty sick right now with all these 4G LTE smartphones, the Bionic, Stratosphere, the Vigor, and now the Revolution 2. They just have a killer lineup, and it's not going to stop anytime soon, guys. So, and their LTE network is just stupidly fast. I mean, it's faster than my home internet is. And I use Verizon Fios, so it's not like I'm using some crappy Walmart connection. I'm on Verizon Fios. And to my knowledge, that is like one of the best out there. So I may jump over soon, guys. But when I do, I'll make a public announcement on my channel here, and I'll make that known to you guys as well. So that is about it, guys. Leave a comment down below what you thought in this video, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.